Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am Sean Anderson, Most Valuable Podcast, and the upcoming segment is from our full Fast Break podcast that we recorded. And if you do want to check out that full podcast, head over to Blog Talk Radio/The Fast Break. You'll be able to find the full podcast over there. But let's move on now to the Bulls side, because obviously Rankin and Ricky did talk about, if you want to see their perspective, check out Behind the Pen. But they get Cameron Payne, they get Joffrey Laverne, and they get Anthony Morrow. Morrow's pretty much nothing. He's a free agent at the end of the year, at least an expiring contract. The biggest piece in this is Cameron Payne. Ricky and Rankin saying that he's the best point guard on the Bulls now. I extremely disagree. I mean, the way he's been playing, he's been banged up. He's a guy that really can't shoot, which is expected in a Bulls point guard. He's a guy that has been completely behind Russell Westbrook and has been living in his shadow. Ricky saying something along the line of a plant in the shadow can't grow. No, but if it's a dumb plant and can't take, if it's a dead plant, then it's not going to grow anyways. So can Cameron Payne add something to this Bulls team for the future?
I mean,
because he's the main thing.
The
unless
upside
you're
is,
big on
he's
Joffrey
22
Laverne.
and you got him under contract. That's about it. He's having a struggling year this year. Obviously there was potential there that they saw from last year. His rookie year, he did shoot 41% from the field and just a hair below, I think, 33 from three. Mm-hmm. So he's not a bad player, but this year he's gotten worse. He's regressed. I know he's got an injury issue this year, but still, you don't like to see regression, especially when you go from 41% to 33% from the field. That's a huge red flag. Mm-hmm. That is like, what changed? Are we going in the conspiracy theory land of he got a different haircut, so that screwed up the shot?
That's true. That is actually true.
I know.
There's
I love
numbers
that thread
back
on
that
Reddit.
up.
Credit to Reddit. That was just mind blowing.
Real quick, because I want to explain it. There's something where Marcus Smart has cut his hair, and Marcus Smart is now a significantly better shooter because he's bringing his head now to his hand now to his head when he's shooting, and it's giving him a better arc. Anyways, the thing about Cameron Payne though is, at least recently, shooting from threes back up to 36%, at least in the month of February. But then you look at the field goal percentage, and he's lower from the field than he is from three. So it makes no sense. I don't see a ton of athleticism in Cameron Payne. I don't see some great handles out there. He's not a guy that's going to get you a ton of assists. I mean, I don't see anyone who's going to be changing the game out here. And
I don't see an improvement over MCW or Rondo. I don't see how he's better than either one of them.
And if anything, I see a smaller MCW. I don't see anything that's game changing here.
No, because MCW can go off.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't see anything that's like a game changing here for the Bulls.
I don't see as much upside. That's scary. I don't see the upside as far as Cameron Payne's concerned. I think best case scenario is he gets back to, where was his rookie year, which is sad to say. I mean, this is his second year, but yeah. I'm just going to write off hey, he'll get, healthy throughout the end of this year and, maybe recover his shot up to 35%. Mm-hmm. Woo. No, he's going to be a backup. And I pray that we continue moving forward in the right direction. I'm happy because we got younger. I'm sad because we did it the stupidest way possible.
Well, what do you think about the Bulls now? Because obviously everyone's saying fire guard packs and Ryan Storrs running this into the ground, and I completely agree. But how bad of a move is it, truly? Because you're going to lose Taj. And
Taj was gone regardless. So
Dougie isn't bringing a lot to this team, and that's probably why you're thinking, the Thunder are thinking it's just pretty much McDermott for a second-round pick for these three players, and Laverne, Morrow, and Payne. So is it as bad as a deal as people are making it out to be?
I want to say it is. And that's because I felt like Dougie at least offered you the upside of there's someone who offensively is gifted, and there's always room for someone like that, even if our system today doesn't work that way. Again, like many Bulls fans, I think the system will change because I think the coach will change. And I think that the roster will be updated heavily in the next 2 years, complete overhaul. So my guess is that they went young. They went for someone like Cameron Payne to try to make this, hey, we're going to go young. I promise you, we're totally doing it now. We got rid of the 31-year-old old dude. Don't worry about it. Minus the fact that dude was literally the heart and soul. He held that team together. No, it's absolutely a horrible move. I think Doug still had value, and I think a lot of people did. You watch someone who excelled so well. I mean, I know the counter argument is Jimmer Fredette, and I hate to bring them on the same level, but
Jimmer was 6'3", Dougie's 6'8". They're a completely different player.
offensive weapon in college. That's where I'm going with this.
That's pretty much it. If you want to break
yeah.
it down to the basic that they're both white shooters, then yeah, okay.
I was going with the fact that they're both guys who could drop like 40 on you in college without even a
What
thought.
I'm saying is literally, if you want to break it down to the basic,
even more basic,
they're
yep.
white guys who can score.
Yep, there you go.
And they were good in college.
Yep.
That's pretty much all it is. I don't see this comparison to
if you
Jimmy
need to beat the Raptors.
If you need to beat the Raptors, yeah, that's pretty much you want to call on Doug McDermott. But I think with bringing in Payne, there's not that much there. And Laverne's young as well. He's 25, but he's bounced from Denver to OKC, a guy that's just meh. I mean, he's a guy that not
again. I feel like this was a push. It was like, hey, you guys got a new piece or two. We got a new piece too. Why we give up a second? I don't know. It's still a second, so I'm not like overly, horrified by this. It's still, though, why did we have to give up a second for a player who's regressed in his second year, for a guy who's an expiring contract and an injury, for a guy with an expiring contract and a 25-year-old journeyman? Mm-hmm. So I completely think it was a garbage trade. I have to agree with the super fans over on Behind the Pen. Clean house. Like, how they didn't pull the trigger on some of the deals that were offered to them. I don't want to go in detail because that's a whole other shit show.
And we'll talk about that with the Boston Celtics thing. Thank you. Oh, shit. It's just one of our videos scared me a little bit. Don't forget to check out that one. And also don't forget to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.